I learned at church camp this week that without knowing God, you can be good with a lowercase g, but when you do know Him, you can be good with a capital G.
I came to church camp to learn about Jesus a lot more, and someday I'm gonna keep on following His footsteps on the way.
Oh hey, I didn't see you there. My name is Jacob, and this week at camp, I learned that you're supposed to be legit whenever possible, which should be all the time. And be yourself.
God showed me this week that when I'm a boy, I do boyish things. It usually makes me a fool. But when there comes a time in my life when I'm to be a man, and that I put away my childish things.
The reason why I came to Lift is so that I could get closer to God.
This year at church camp, I learned to be more of a leader, and also that my ministry of being the drummer and the praise band is a great way to show God to people. Also, as a senior, I'd like to come back and help downstairs.
This year at church camp, I learned to not deceive myself and trick myself into believing I'm something I'm not, that being a Christian is a full-time job, that I need to be legitimate about everything I do as a Christian, and to dedicate my life to God and put everything in His hands.
Okay, what I learned at church camp. Wait. Okay, what I learned at church camp is that I need to go back to my new school in New Haven and just bring more people to know God and grow stronger in my walk.
What I learned at church camp is to be more trustworthy with my friends and be more truthful with them this year.
This year at church camp, I learned you need to forgive to be forgiven.
And what I learned is the past is in the past, to leave it there.
This week at camp, I learned that people need to pick the right friends and not do the wrong friends so they don't get a lot of trouble and they can worship God in different ways.
This week at camp, I learned that I need to pick the right kind of friends and not friends that cuss. I need to pick Christian friends.
God taught me to forgive this year at camp, that you need to break down your wall and forgive everybody who has hurt you and mend all their hurts with love.
I got saved for the first time Thursday night. That night, God came to me and said, everything's going to be all right. And I said, sorry, God. And He said, it's okay.
Okay, one thing that I learned at camp this week was that is about forgiveness. Forgiveness is like the key to everything. You need to forgive and let go of your grudges to fully serve God. And that's like one of the biggest things that I struggle with is forgiveness, because I have so much bitterness towards so many different people. So it helped me a lot.
Okay, so I rededicated my life to God because I felt like I wasn't really saved. And I said the prayer that Todd says every week. When he said it, just make sure. And I learned that I needed to trust God instead of just saying the prayer every week. And yeah.
Hey there. What I learned this week at church camp is that it's okay to be broken and you don't have to have it all together all the time, and that you have a big family here even when you feel alone, and yeah, God's good.
This week at camp I had a really great time with everyone, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I need to not worry all the time because it just adds so much stress to my life that I don't need, because I can't control everything. So that helped me out, and I'm going to work on praying every night because I need to, and I don't know. It was fun getting close with everyone this week, and I had a good time.
I learned that it's not about us, it's about Him, and we have to own up to our actions, because even when we messed up, we have to own up to it. And I guess I learned that we may not think that we're all beautiful, but we're all beautiful.
This year, the thing that stuck out most to me for camp was when he said, God doesn't want your plans, he wants your empty hands, which is really hard for me because I like to plan things and like to know what's happening, so that's what I'm going to work on this year.
Hi, I'm Sochi, and something that I learned at camp is God showed me how to forgive someone that was really weighing on my life, and now there's nothing really in the way of getting close to Him.
Alright, this year at camp I learned that you need to forgive people even no matter what. This year I decided to go into full-time ministry and do 1 year at Bible college. And I asked for God to forgive me.
This year at camp I learned that you need to hang out with the right people, because if you don't, you can get in a lot of trouble.
This year at camp I learned that I need to forgive people, and I need to ask to be forgiven from God and from other people. And I surrendered to full-time ministry, and I'd like to go into that.
So what I learned at camp is kind of basically what everybody else was. Forgiveness was really big in my part. It was an extremely strong message for me in how I need to forgive, no matter how little or how big any situation is. So that was a main thing that really took to me.
Okay, I learned this week that no matter what you have built up against someone, you need to forgive them, because that's a godly thing to do, and you're never going to be able to move on if you can't forgive.
This year at camp, God really showed me a lot about my next steps and how to get where I need to be as a Christian. And so hopefully I can keep praying and keep getting there.
What I learned at camp is that God wants our open hands and not our plans, and that there's always a different way to look, different way to think, and a different way to live.
This week broke me and my friends that we're going to start changing our ways, and we're going to go through, the 5 of us, to go through Wayne to try to start up FCA again and make it more well known and get more people to worship God even though we're at school.